What's up, guys? So today I figured we might as well go on a little hike through the backwoods. Probably gonna do some camping throughout the day, even though it's like 1 already. I kind of started this a little late, but that's okay. So we'll see where we go from here. So this is something really cool. As you can see here, it's a really wide gap. There's a creek on that side, there's a creek on that side, and there's a bunch of rocks in between. This here used to be a really old creek bed. I think back when my pawpaw was a boy. He used to tell me that there was a big old creek full of fish around here. I mean, it sure as shit looks wide enough. This looks like it dried out over time. I can tell this is a creek bed because there's a lot of rocks on the ground. So maybe this was it. So this is kind of wild. Found ice. It's like 60 degrees out here. It's reasonably strong ice too. So I'm just gonna follow this creek bed, try to get down to the river. So now we're getting to the unnatural pine growth or man-made pine growth. It's where people just come through and they plant a bunch of pines. You can tell the striking difference between natural forest and man-made shit. Also, the trees are in rows. So this here is relatively new. By relatively new, I mean like 20, 30 years ago, maybe. We got some chonker trees in here, but most of them are small. Tends to make me believe most of this was not too long ago. So we're gonna keep following that creek bed because that leads to a housing development, I'm pretty sure. No, this is not state land. This is very fucking illegal. Something quite funny about this big old oak tree in the middle of all this. It's quite pretty. It is a really pretty spot though. Got a creek running next to it. It'd be a good camping spot. But really close to that housing development, so I'm gonna keep moving. So a little bit more story on where I'm going. It's a place called Raven's Point. It's a part of the river that bends to like look like the shape of a raven's head. It's kind of like a myth around the town. You know, people at school's like, oh, it's a creepy place, don't go there. Or kids making up stories. So I'm gonna go find out if it's a real place. I know it's a real place. I found it on Google Maps. The bend of the river looks like a raven's like head. So I'm just kind of marching my way down here to see if I can actually find anything here. It's just like a point on the river, so we'll see. And the really good thing about following riverbeds is they tend to have a lot of deer trails like right next to them. So you can kind of just easily walk your way through. And in the mountains, you really like that because that's your alternative. I'll say this, most of the time in the mountains, these little creeks and streams and stuff are usually some of the cleanest water you'll ever find. Usually. More often than not now, a lot of these are getting really bad polluted. The best way I can tell you to check to see the like cleanliness of the water, especially during the spring or summer, look for crawdads and salamanders, especially salamanders. They have very sensitive skin, so they need clean water. So, just a little science lesson for you. And something else about this. This water right here would tend to be a lot cleaner than most, because I've noticed this water has a lot of rocks in it. This creek bed seems to be running on like just a giant bunch of stone. So it's going to keep that water reasonably clean. And the leaves it runs through is going to act kind of like a filter. But Well, look at that big fucker right there. I will say this, that deer trail kind of gets a little rough. A little while ago, big old storm came in, knocked down a bunch of trees up through here, and well, made everything a mess. So, a lot of fun. Now look at this, pretty little waterfall. Oh, nature's fucking beautiful. Looks like we got another smaller one down here. Yep, we do. That would actually be really good to drink off of. I'd still recommend you boil it. Just because a lot of this water's still very unmoving. There's someone outside of the house. So we're going to quietly make our way up to the top of this hill. Okay. They were outside listening because it got enough yarded or not. If you've ever walked through a pine forest, you know the smell of them. This one has it really strong. And there's the river. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about old growth trees. That batch at least has to be 500-600 years old, if not a little older. Ow. There's just briars back there. I had to walk through that. Here's your big damn tree. And for comparison, really doesn't do it justice. That thing is about as wide as my car. So I ended up finding this really nice spot right next to the river. Good water access too, fast moving. So I'll be able to make some good water out there. First step is comparing all these hanging limbs that way. There's water purifier. Nope. Okay. Good thing is, there's already a lot of really dry wood. It's a dead tree. Up in here is a bunch. Recent storm came through. A whole bunch of trees died and fell over in a really dry wood. So I'll be able to get a fire going pretty quick. some dry wood. Have a better idea. So I started cutting that piece, and I realized I can just go out and find smaller pieces that are already busted up better, and I can just chop them up and put them in the fire pit. So it's gonna be a lot easier on me. I am tired, so just making some water. It's very slow. I boiled it, now I'm purifying it. A lot of fun. I'm lying to myself. Well, on my lovely hike back, I'm taking a trail like an actual road. Cuts through a housing development. Got a really nice fella, got a pretty dog. And we got to talking about life and stuff like that. Nice fella. It's kind of funny to meet people out here when you're doing nothing. It's in the middle of nowhere. He's a nice enough guy. But had to cut my camping trip short. I have to head on home. Grandpa says it's gonna get real cold tonight, even though it's not, but we ain't gonna worry about that. Lesson for you. If you're hiking, remember, if your feet start hurting, take a break. Take your shoes off and just massage your feet. Because if not, you could permanently damage your foot. Let's get the blood pumping. Try to massage it really good and keep the blood flow. It'll help you in the long run. I know that video didn't really have the best ending. I got a call out of nowhere from my grandma. She wanted me home. They were worried about me. They didn't want me to stay out there tonight because it actually got really cold. The wind picked up a lot. The weather app said it was going to be in the 50s, but with the wind chill, it's going to feel more like 20. So I'm really glad I did get back. I went out a minute ago. It's really fucking cold. So I had to cut that little adventure short. I'm going to meet up with one of my buddies one day. Me and him are going to head out and we're going to go on another little adventure. Hopefully overnight, probably 2 to 3 days. But just couldn't do it today because, yeah. But I will say this, I did not plan correctly because I expected to go out there, stay, and then come back tomorrow. So I hiked quite a ways, and I knew it was going to be quite a ways back. So it was going to be a 2-day trip. Walking for 2 days worth of, a trip in 1 day sucks. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get some sleep.